Have you ever gotten into an argument with someone and thought, how can they not see what I'm seeing? Well, that is because they can't. We all wear different glasses on, and that shapes the reality we view the world, whether it's the ego or the intellect. So in this video, we're going to explore why arguments happen, and have knowledge of these glasses can completely transform how we communicate. Are you ready to see the world through someone else's eyes? Let's dive in. Namaste and welcome. In this video, we're going to talk about something we all experience, and that is disagreement. But what if I told you it's because we are wearing different glasses on? Let me explain. Imagine you and a friend are looking at a tree. You have glasses that are red, and your friend have glasses that are blue. In your perspective, the tree looks red, and your friend's perspective, the tree looks blue. Question: who is right? That's correct. You both are right. It's just a matter of perspective. But that is exactly how we perceive the world in real life. Each of us has our own unique perspective that is shaped by beliefs, values, society, and our education. When we get into disagreement, it's usually because we are wearing two main glasses, the ego and the intellect. Let's break them down. Let's start with the ego. The ego is all about myself, my identity, how I protect myself. When someone is looking through this lens, they might feel defensive, like they need to win this argument because their ego or sense of self at stake here. The intellect lens works quite differently. When you look through this lens, it's all about facts, logic, and reasoning. You might be the person who want to explain this tree scientifically because you have all the facts on your side, right? But here is something super important to remember. The intellect lens isn't your own thoughts. It has been conditioned by external sources like schools, society, and stuff you learned. It's like teachers and society gives you a tools to perceive the world with. That is the intellect. And this influences you how you perceive the world. It's not really your thought, you just have adopted those teaching from external sources. But here's an important thing to remember. Whether it's the ego lens or the intellect lens, they're both valid from their own unique perspective. And that is why arguments can be so difficult, because we are both right from our own perspective. So, how do we move past this conflict then? The key here is self-reflection with empathy. When you get into an argument with someone, take a step back and think, what glasses am I wearing right now? Do I have the ego one? Or do I have the intellect one? And ask yourself this: how I'm seeing this, and how is this other person seeing it? By getting curious, we can learn so much about ourselves and this other person and expand the perspective. You can be like, oh, interesting, how do you see this? And you switch from being right to let's learn from each other. But it requires to take a step back to reflect on oneself first. At the end of the day, it isn't about winning or losing. It is about learning about ourselves and others and how we all perceive the world. When we understand this, we can communicate far easier to sort of step into someone's shoes to see how do you actually see this. And you can turn around from a potential argument into a learning experience. But it requires take a step back and self-reflect. So, next time in an argument, take a deep breath in and ask yourself, what glasses am I wearing? And what glasses are they wearing? Where does the ego intellect? We all perceive the world from our own unique perspective, and both is valid. So by understanding and showing empathy, we can grow instead of having argument and waste that energy arguing with someone we want to get along with. Hopefully this made sense. If it did, like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you, and as always, namaste and have a great day.